What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pod and Long. Hello, friends. I am your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. You're looking live on a man who he healed his injuries on a party boat on this bye week. It's Megastar Mark.
The arm is still kind of hurting and the hip is still kind of hurting, but you know what? It was a nice bye week for me. Nice and relaxing.
Weird that you and Brian McKinney were on the same party boat.
Yeah, right. Well, he was giving me some pointers on things, but I kind of passed. You know, I was there more as as a watcher, just for my future political career. I really couldn't have been contributing much, but anyway,
just took notes.
There you go.
All right, we're also here with our other co-host, Killer Greg 17.
Hello.
We need a Madden update.
I don't have one.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry.
I want to know what virtual Ryan Tannehill is doing.
I know, and you're not going to get one this week either.
Yeah,
so
right. You're not going.
It's coming though. It'll come back.
You're taking a week off. You are taking a literal bye week.
Yes,
Yes,
right.
that's right. I'm removing myself from the situation.
When Tannehill was like momentarily out of that game, I was very close to just taking a screen cap of that tweet and just be like, this is Killer Greg finally found what he was looking for. And then like literally a minute later, it's like Tannehill back in the game.
He limped back out on the field. I did laugh. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh at your team, but I did laugh when Tannehill was in there, and so was Malik Willis, and the two of them combined to fumble. That was like hilarious to me. Like, oh, both of them together.
19 to 10 that game.
They're working together.
Hey.
They're working together. It all worked out. So it's fine.
As long as you're on the good side.
All right, welcome. We are going to be doing our categories. We're going to do football foobar. We're going to give game balls, Greg's bets, a theme on broadcasting moments of the week. Little theme this week.
That's fun. I love that.
And we're gonna begin with my team. We're gonna begin with my team because they had a weird week.
Way to
category.
Fuck up your draft position.
The ballad of the 2022 Carolina Panthers. We began on Thursday night football, where during the game, Christian McCaffrey was traded.
Yeah, which we
San Francisco 49ers
kind of assumed was going to happen. You know, that's couldn't have been a huge surprise to you.
Was not.
No,
was not.
You had a good haul for him.
We got several picks.
Yep.
Me and Scott Fitter worked on this together. Several picks came in. The draft was gonna be rough, so I'm happy about this.
Yep.
They only had like 3 picks, I think, going into 2022. They still have their first round pick, but everything else, which they need a lot of people.
Right.
They need those picks. So
this is a volume type of situation right now.
Right.
So
need as many picks as they can get. So now they're back to even, I think, for the next 2 years when covering those Darnold and Baker Mayfield trades. Thank God.
Oh, that's right.
And Matt Corral covering up 3 quarterback years of picks being traded. So that was good. I was sad to see McCaffrey go. He's a good player.
Yep.
One of the most talented guys of this group. But it's just not going to work out. It was just not going to work out in the timeline.
Did you hear that the Rams were also in at the end? And they were like, they matched everything other than like they didn't have any other draft picks to give away.
Yeah,
and so the Niners were like, 5th? And they're like, well, 4 is better than 3. Looks like you win.
Right. Also, I like that I guess the Rams kind of stink too, but I don't think the 49ers I still don't think they're that great.
Well,
I mean, it's the NFC. They still could win. They still could be in the NFC Championship.
They'll make the playoffs just because.
I think the Niners are pretty great.
Yeah.
They just need to get their shit together.
Well, we'll get to it too. You can't really hold anything against them this week. It's not like they lost the Bears or anything. But I mean,
yeah. All right.
So we lost to a prime team.
So I was sad but okay with this trade. They also traded Robbie Anderson last week, so fine. And they come into this Tom Brady game, which I expect they're just gonna kill him. It's fine. I'll move on. Don't need it. Even in the rundown, like when I was like piecing together the skeleton of the rundown, I'm like, oh, we're not gonna talk about this game. I mean, Crypt Keeper's gonna come out, he's gonna throw a couple touchdowns, and that'll be that. No, wrong.
Yeah.
A complete shellacking.
PJ Walker.
160 something yards rushing. PJ Walker threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Mike Evans dropped a touchdown pass.
Hysterical.
Epic
Mike
fashion.
Evans looked embarrassing.
Yep.
The bobble. That's like a butt fumble.
Yeah.
Catching it.
It wasn't
During-
even just that. It was like he had a lot of drops. I legitimately feel like this team is checked out.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
The text, Greg, that you texted myself and Ryan during it, which is Tom Brady is skipping his son's recital for this game, had me rolling. That was so good.
Like
I
every meme of Tom Brady now is like a decrepit old thing, or like
What he
SpongeBob
is.
all shriveled up. Like
Yeah.
every meme is
He
hysterical.
was apparently like throwing chairs in the locker room because that's a good sign for your leader, right? I mean,
Oh my
I
god.
think it's just so funny. I just
Yeah.
picture his kid dressed up as a flower. Tom Brady gets home after the game. Did you win, Dad?
just keeps walking. His
Closes
son
the door.
dejectedly takes out the flower hat.
Put the music as loud as he can.
Yeah.
Carry on my wayward son.
He needs to go to his quiet space.
Dead. This is so accurate to what song of choice would be Tom
Carry on
Brady.
my wayward son.
Just reverberating through the house.
Don't you
Yes.
cry no more.
Anyway, Panthers didn't look like they missed a beat running the ball. They ran it better. They
Yeah.
ran it better.
Apparently, Christian McCaffrey was holding you back.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. No, I don't think that's it. But they kicked the crap out of the Bucks. Buck looks terrible. The Bucks weren't even in this game ever for a minute. It
No.
didn't seem like.
To Greg's point, like the team itself looks like it just quit and quit on Brady as a leader. You know, like none of them seem to be buying into his bullshit.
Can you be
Right.
surprised though? We talked about it last week with all the shenanigans. Like,
yeah,
come on.
you can't
Stop
treat your
fuck-
teammates
yeah.
like we've all been on not sports team, not just sports teams, but like if you've been in a office environment or work environment where your person of authority is putting you down. How's that make you feel? Like you really want to go to bat for him the next week or the next
No,
day?
right.
It's this
Right.
is just human psychology.
Right.
Not only that is like he's also a player.
Mhm.
It's not like the owner or like the manager yelling. It's like a middle manager yelling.
Right.
You know, it's like up to 4 people underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my god, dude. And I don't know. I genuinely get the vibe where it's like if your boss goes out and plays golf for like 6 hours of his 8-hour workday and then shows up at 2:00 and was like, what the fuck have y'all been up to? It's
Right.
like we got projects to work on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, what the fuck were you been up to?
Yeah.
Hmm.
None of them are ever going to say that publicly, but you know they're all thinking it.
Of course.
Oh, we're gonna get some kind of. We're getting something.
I
Like
cannot wait.
Adam
for Mike
Schefter
Evans'
is gonna
autobiography in 5
Adam
years.
Schefter is going to be like, well, he should hear this story
Yeah.
at some point. Okay, that's enough of that. So, I guess I'm happy. I don't know. I want them to lose every game, but they beat the Bucks. So I don't know what. I'm happy about it. I hate Tom Brady. I hate the Bucks.
I mean, the Texans are racing
Yeah.
to the bottom.
Yeah, right.
That
Like
scares
they are,
me.
yeah. So
there's
I
only
don't
there's
think
only
it even
I think
matters.
there's 3 quarterbacks that are available.
Yeah. My concern, I guess it's not even a concern, is that the Texans have 2 picks in the top 4 right now because they have somebody
Maybe they just
somebody
take two
stupid.
take 2
right?
quarterbacks.
But I'm saying, like, if they finish second or they finish, third or whatever, they could easily move up because of that extra ammunition. So
I mean, there's enough quarterbacks where it could
yeah. Oh yeah.
still happen.
There's a kid from Florida too who looks
Right.
very intriguing. So
There's was it Kentucky also has a pretty good
Yeah.
quarterback, so
Right.
we'll see what happens. Hopefully they lose more. This should be like their 3rd and only win, please. Please. Or second. Was it their second win? Jesus Christ, what a terrible season. All right, Thursday Night Football, moving on. Finally a good game. The
Yeah, that was
Cardinals
good.
win because Andy
Mhm.
Dalton gift wraps 2
Yeah.
pick sixes literally a minute and 20 seconds apart. Kyler Murray,
Yeah, new Call of
didn't
Duty
he-
this week though.
right.
Yeah. he might be better.
Oh man, I should have bet that.
Oh man, coming off a big win, he's gonna take his foot
Oh
off the
my
gas
God.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy Dalton, for throwing 2 shitty
I
passes for pick
cannot hate
sixes.
Andy Dalton, so you guys are gonna have to hate on him for me here.
No, I can't
because
hate
he's-
Andy Dalton. He
No.
probably did it for a reason.
Yeah, right. Some some
Panther.
special needs kid said like, Andy, please throw 2 interceptions for me.
Yeah.
He's like,
All
no
right.
problem, kiddo.
All right, don't worry. I got
I
you
get-
covered.
I
He
got you.
wanted to outduel Jameis Winston.
James
How many
Jameis.
pick sixes did he have? All right, let me get started on that.
30 and 30. The Barry Bonds special.
I can get that in one game.
I can do it faster. You seen me play? I can do it
Yeah.
faster.
Cardinals, hey, they got off the schneid. I don't know. I mean, they're so inconsistent. Like everybody, I can say that about almost all the teams this year. Is
Sure,
everybody's
right.
very inconsistent.
I mean,
So-
luckily for the Cardinals, the NFC stinks, so
Yeah,
it's
right.
totally possible they could get going here.
Yep. Yeah, they're only one game out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
of first place.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is back.
Yeah,
He was
right.
great in this game.
he was great. Yep.
So
I will say this, having watched that game, I legitimately think Kyler Murray stinks.
Mhm.
I'm not saying he can't make plays, but I don't think he is ever going to be the guy to get you there.
Mhm.
Because for every incredible play he makes an unbelievably boneheaded mistake.
Which is fine for if you're in your rookie year or even your second year, but this is not either his rookie year or his
Right.
second year. So I agree with you.
Mm.
Like he was 20 for 29, which is like good stats, but
Mhm.
like he still looked bad.
Yep.
And like not that I don't want to say not the physicalities and everything, but like the dude is so short.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
And it's just like I think it affects him.
Mhm.
Like he needs to do some sort of bootleg every fucking play just so we can get behind his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
He can't see open receivers.
I heard this on some podcast. I forget which one. Not as good of a football podcast as this, of course,
But
but
what is?
Some other bullshit.
Yeah, none. Some other bullshit, but it was a good point. It was how many quarterbacks under 6 feet are actually good over their
Yeah.
career? How many can you name other than Drew Brees?
Yeah.
Can you name more than Drew Brees? as
I'm biased, but
quarterbacks?
I'll say
Doug Flutie?
Flutie. There you go. I mean,
But even that had a
Flutie
shelf
was never
life.
great.
No,
Though.
he
was
had, like,
up
2 or
slightly
3
above
years.
average.
That
Yeah,
had a
right.
shelf life.
right. It did.
And there aren't a lot of other names out
No,
there.
I'm sure there
under
were
6 feet.
I'm sure Joe Namath is like 5'6", but
That
I
was
mean,
a different game.
it was a different
though.
era.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a
Like,
different
you-
game.
I thought you were gonna go exaggerate his height there and make him like a hobbit. It's like I'm sure he's like 4'3" or something.
What about Kingsbury? What about my guy? What about Cliff Kingsbury? Do you think he's in trouble here?
Not trouble. I mean, he'll make it through the season. He's not gonna get fired midway through because he has the excuse of I didn't have my best offensive player, and that'll get you through a season at least.
Maybe.
All
All right, I got the list of best short quarterbacks of all time right here. I'm going to go through it real quick. We'll be as fast as we can. But I think there's a theme here. Fran Tarkington,
yeah,
older
While
guy,
back.
long time ago. Drew Brees,
Mhm.
of course. Russell Wilson, 5'11".
Well,
Yeah.
The jury's still out there. Sonny Jurgensen, Len Dawson, Joe Theismann, all old guys.
yeah,
Michael Vick was 6 foot even.
not a great. No, okay,
Yeah.
Tough.
But also
Yeah.
ability to roll out.
right.
Crucial.
Had some-
get away
had
from your
he-
offensive lineman.
I hate the guy, but he had some excellent seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flutie, though, I remember an interview saying he had to like jump just to look over his offensive lineman. Like he would throw
Yeah.
balls in midair because that was the only way he could see and stay in the pocket.
Right.
Flutie. Flutie was 5'10". He made the Pro Bowl in 1998.
Sure, he was.
He was 37 and 28 as
Yeah.
a starter in the NFL.
After like
Oh,
a
better than I
10-year
thought.
gap. It's one of the strangest career arc like trajectories I can think of. Like
Yeah.
started off as a high draft pick,
Mm.
Heisman winner,
Patriot
bombs
player. He was a
out.
Patriot,
Yep.
right?
bombs out, and then spends like however many years in Canada, and then like the prodigal son returns as like a third stringer and ends up like reclaiming his career.
Right.
Like the equivalent of that, I'm trying to even think like who would it be like 10 years ago, a player who just vanished and all of a sudden comes back this year and lights it up. Gino? Like, I mean, that
I
might
guess.
be a
Pretty
good
close,
comparison.
yeah.
Right. That's probably a good call. All right. Moving on to the next category. Ass kicking wins. The Bengals look real good and they
Yeah.
kick the shit out of the Falcons. Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
2 good games in a row here.
Yeah,
And
Falcons. Bengals are legit.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I've turned on them. I was not happy when we did our projections. I didn't really think they were going to repeat, but they look great.
I think they were tired. I've said it. I said it
yeah.
at the first thing. I
Mhm.
think they're just tired.
Yep.
I think the Rams are tired too, but I think the Rams lost too much and didn't have as much.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I don't want to put down the Falcons though. They played hard. They definitely they're kind of feisty. I kind of like the Falcons.
I like the
They're
Falcons a
feisty, but
lot.
this
Yeah.
was a beatdown. This
It
was a
was.
full on beatdown.
It was.
What did what do you have? 5 touchdowns?
yeah,
Joe Burrow?
yeah. I mean,
Only
the
three.
talent discrepancy is ridiculous between
he
these
ran
two
for
teams.
one.
He ran for 1 and threw 4. Is that
Through
right?
three. Through three.
Through 3. Okay,
Yeah.
so he had 4 touchdowns. He looked good.
481 yards.
Damn.
That will take how long would that take Marcus Mariota to reach? A whole season?
So based just on this game, 5 games. Marcus
Oh,
Mariota was
Marcus.
8 for 13. Great ratio.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
right.
he's
That's
always
a
got
good-
the
His
ratio.
quarterback
man.
rating was 118.
nice.
Pretty fucking good.
Solid,
Quality.
For
solid.
123 yards and a touchdown.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
You know what though? Like I said, the Bengals, they look like they're back on track, which is great for them. Falcons, though, like I still think this team, especially in that division, they might still have a shot at this.
Oh, they're not out of it at all.
Yeah, right.
The
Yeah, they're
Panthers
tied
still
for
have a
third.
shot to win the
Yeah,
division.
I read
No,
something
they're
if,
tied
like
for second in that
Yeah,
division.
Yeah.
I read if the Panthers win and then somebody else loses, the Panthers have sole possession of first place in the NFC South next
What
week.
is going on? The NFC is a hot mess. The Cowboys, ass kicking win. They kick America's team versus America's team, the Lions.
Oh,
Boy, the
man.
Lions. Oh
Ooh.
boy.
They are
What is going on?
what a mirage they were for the first couple of weeks.
Whew.
Yeah.
They
think-
stink.
One of the biggest problems is Amon-Ra St. Brown is the only guy they can throw to, and he's hurt all the
now
time.
He's hurt. Now he's hurt again. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
he's hurt again. So
Yeah.
Goff can't find anybody else.
In
And
the
DeAndre Swift
Detroit's
has also been out.
defense, the Cowboys have like a legendary defense,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
they're
they're-
going to pick
there's-
apart subpar teams.
Oh, they kill subpar teams.
Right. Like they're going to murder the Jerry Goffs of the world.
Yeah.
They did.
And right.
Was it
I
like
mean, honestly,
5
Jerry
turnovers
Goff
or
had a
something?
good game. He was 21 for 26, 228 yards. He also had 2 interceptions. So
Yeah.
minus the 2 interceptions, he was fucking slinging.
They honestly too, the Cowboys, it took a while for the Cowboys to kind of get control of this game. It was pretty tight for most of the I think up until halftime.
Yeah, they scored 14 of their 24 points in the fourth quarter when Jerry Goff got tired.
Right. So the Lions, man, I was so excited for the first couple of weeks with that offense, and now they've scored 6 points in 2 games. I know the
mess.
talent. I mean, they're playing the Patriots, who are on paper decent at
Whoa.
defense. And then obviously the Cowboys are actually good at defense, so I'll give them that. But man, I for a team that I almost thought might compete for a wild card, I've just completely they're bottom 5 at this point.
I think one of the issues is the depth on this team
Mhm.
because they've lost their 2 best players and there's nobody.
Oh yeah.
There's just nobody there.
It takes a while to build. You can get like a good starting team, but to get depth, it takes like several years.
Right.
Like, the Chiefs have really good depth, but it's because the same program has been in place for 9 years there. So they can just kind of keep accumulating guys. It's tough to do that.
Right. All right. The Titans, I'll give you the floor, Greg. They kick the crap. They wipe the floor with the Colts. Even though they didn't play extremely well, they still kicked. Matt Ryan was a mess.
I read a stat.
Yeah.
I read a stat that said the Titans have won 4 in a row by a margin of 22 total points. That does not instill confidence in me. Ryan Tannehill, 13 for
Yeah.
20.
It's a little rough.
Those are Madden numbers for
Yeah.
Tannehill.
13 for 20, 782 yards.
Madden
Well,
Tannehill.
yeah, it's Derrick Henry. It's only Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
And I have to assume their offensive line. Like, I don't think Tannehill only got sacked twice. Tannehill, I don't think it gets that beat up. Their offensive line is fucking top tier.
Yeah. It
And if
definitely
Derrick
is.
Henry is healthy, which he is this year and was for part of last year,
Hmm.
they're gonna compete in low scoring games. But I've said it the whole fucking time that if they're behind, they're gonna lose. They have no capacity to come back. Luckily, they were playing the Colts. That worked out well.
Why did you
Yikes.
I do have a question. Why did you end Matt Ryan's career?
Wowzers. Yeah,
I mean, it's done, right? I mean,
it's gotta be.
I mean, unless Uringer, is that how to say his name? Unless he gets hurt and we see Ryan again, I mean, this. Why would you come back after this? See, this happened so suddenly. I really have a feeling that he went to the coaching and ownership and be like, I can't do this.
I'm done.
Like,
Yeah.
I physically can't be your quarterback.
He has what, 2 injuries now? He's got a sprained ankle and something's wrong with his shoulder, I think.
Man,
And Frank Reich said when he's back, he still won't start.
Yeah.
He'll be the 3rd string quarterback.
he
Nick
just
Foles is going to back up the other guy. Why are you not just playing Nick Foles? I don't understand that. But Frank Reich is getting fired.
yeah.
This team is going to be blown up.
agree.
GM's
Yep.
getting fired. Everything being blown up.
There's
here.
something inherently wrong with the way this team is playing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what to think of Jonathan Taylor because he had that incredible year and he had a good year before that. But
Mhm.
like, he hasn't looked great this year. But between Jonathan Taylor and Najee Hines, like, you have a good running game,
Mhm.
and they were in this game.
they were
Like,
still in the game.
right. The final score 19-10. That's still in the we should be running the ball area.
Driving to close the gap, Michael Pittman fumbled too,
Mhm.
like in the red zone. So, I mean,
Yeah, right. But like, Jonathan Taylor got 10 carries in this game. They asked Matt Ryan to throw 44 times.
which they did last
What
week and
the
it worked.
fuck are you doing?
Right.
They did the same game plan last week and it worked for him.
Yeah, but
So,
last week was a shootout. Like,
Right.
it was a high scoring game. They needed to score points quickly.
you weren't going to be able to do that against the Titans.
Right. Going
No,
into the
right.
fourth quarter, they were only down 3 points. Like, run the fucking football. Your
I wonder-
quarterback has a fucking pool noodle for an arm.
It was horrible. Like, I mean, this is a guy
It's one of
who-
those car dealership airmen.
A wacky inflatable tube man.
Whee!
Yeah, but as an arm.
I think the Colts probably promised him, like, hey, we have an all-star offensive line. We have a good running game. You're not going to have to do much this year. And it was the exact opposite. They made him do what was that one game he threw 60 times, like they made him do way more than he's capable of. And I think he damaged. I think he's hurt himself really bad. I think he's smart enough to tell the coaches, like, hey, this is it.
Right.
So
I was
he-
a
he has-
third baseman in high
Right.
school and college. And like, just making long throws. I know baseball is different than a football, but I mean, they're asking him to throw 60 yards, but making long throws tires your arm out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Mhm.
And I was only throwing 180 feet. I wasn't
Mhm.
throwing 40 yards.
Right. Let's real quick. I want to talk about a retrospective on Matt Ryan. Let's say he retires at the end of this year, which looks likely. He's 39, so
Right.
this is probably the end. Dude won an MVP. Okay. Does he go into the Hall of Fame?
No.
I say no, but I'm sure they will put him in. Like, I would say no if I was on the committee.
I
but
think
I'm sure
it's one of those things where I
He
I
will.
think either argument has validity. Good
Yeah.
stats, but
Give him-
not a champion.
maybe like 17 years from now he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
Well,
not-
last year.
They'll
Last year on
punish
the
him
ballot.
until and
Yeah.
they'll
I
drop
agree.
him.
I don't think he belongs in there. And I think it does come down, even though they say, like, there are plenty of guys who never won a championship who are in the Hall of Fame. That's fine. But the way he lost the championship,
Mm.
Yeah.
I think still resonates with people. And I think that, like, guys like that, champions like that, don't blow it like that. So
The way-
Also, that was his only opportunity.
that was
It's not
his
like
only
he
chance. Right.
It's not like he blew one game and then was
Right.
still around in other, like Charles Barkley. People always compare athletes who haven't won titles to Charles Barkley. That guy was in the mix
Mhm.
every year.
Right.
Wasn't his fault that the
It wasn't
Suns
Barkley's
lost
fault that
the-
he went up against
Yeah.
generational talent
Right.
everywhere.
He
Yeah.
hung. He hung with Jordan. If you watch that, I'm a big NBA
Yeah.
fan. He was in that series. He was a big reason they stayed alive in that series. So,
Yep.
this is not Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
He got
No.
there one time. He lost a couple other NFC championship games.
Yep.
So did Rex Grossman.
The way
Sexy
the way
Rexy.
I look at it is, I think you can tell the story of the NFL without Matt Ryan.
Yeah, you definitely
100%.
can.
Maybe you have to tell it about that Super Bowl, but
you don't-
again, it doesn't matter who the other
Right.
quarterback was.
Right. You don't have to include him. You can just say Brady came back from 28-3,
Right.
and there's that story. So I
Right,
agree.
yeah.
I think at the end of this year, we're going to get a good string of retirements from quarterbacks. I think
Yeah.
it is a
Yeah.
changing of the guard.
We might talk more about that. Matt Ryan also has 11 fumbles this season
Man,
already.
he's
11
shot.
fumbles.
It's over. She's
Well, he
shot.
can't move.
Um,
It reminds
right.
me
he
of
only has three
Drew
lost.
Bledsoe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
lost
a fucking
fumbles,
statue
but-
back there.
Yeah.
11 fumbles. All right, moving on. Raiders. Wow. To think the Raiders beat the Texans. To think that Josh McDaniels wasn't going to play Josh Jacobs
Yeah.
is absolutely insane.
He's the worst fucking coach in the history of coaches.
He's an
Oh my
idiot.
God. There were
He's Urban Meyer bad.
up till
This
like 2
guy-
weeks ago, people were talking about them trading Josh Jacobs because he wasn't getting used. Could you fucking imagine that? How dumb that would be?
Oh my God. This guy single-handedly killed the Texans. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. What do you have? 170 yards?
I love the way he
I-
runs.
I thought he was
Ah.
going to set the record the way
Yeah.
he was running all over the place.
Just plows you right over. I love that old school Dickerson type of run. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
why you would not want to use this guy
Because he's an idiot.
boggles the mind.
What is with the AFC West and 3 idiot coaches and then Andy Reid? And I love me some Andy, but Andy has some moments himself too.
Sometimes you just flail your arms so hard they have to interpret it as a timeout. I didn't even see what he was doing.
Yeah,
Did
I
it
know.
look like he called timeout?
He was doing this,
Yeah.
but he was doing the like the quick hurry up huddle thing.
Oh,
But it kind of with his like
but his
fat
fucking
hands.
sausage fingers
his
just
fat
couldn't
hands.
figure it out.
I think they were like, "Oh, timeout, Andy!" Right? And
We got you, bud.
yeah. We'll just move on to that game. The Chiefs killed the 49ers, and part of the reason that they were going up at halftime is because an accidental timeout by Andy Reid, which worked out in their favor. They scored points because the guy can't get it right when he tries, but when
There's
when
something
he screws it up,
inherently-
it's great.
there's something inherently lovable about Andy Reid where
Agreed.
like he's such a goofball. And like even like because he seems like generally a nice guy, like when these accidental weird shit happens, you don't even
Yeah.
get mad. You're just like, "Oh, Andy,
It
that's
worked.
so
though.
on par for you,
They
buddy."
scored.
Yeah, right.
And like a couple weeks ago when they had that halftime mishap and Mahomes was yelling at people,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? I'm Pat Mahomes. Call a timeout. What are you doing?
Um
What are you doing?
we talked about it briefly. I think the Niners are a good team. The Chiefs are just a fucking buzzsaw. Like they just dismantled in my opinion was next to Dallas probably one of the other best defenses in the league, and they did it in San Francisco.
That was
even in Kansas City.
impressive. That was impressive. That was
I mean,
impressive.
I think the NFC is such shit.
Yeah,
Like every now and they'll play each other, and when a team will look good, and then literally any
Yeah.
AFC team will come into town and just blow them the fuck out.
yeah. No, I've noticed that too. But like
Yeah.
I think I was so impressed by the Chiefs too, because like not only did they have to go on the road to the West Coast to win this game, right? They had to do it with Christian McCaffrey making his debut and all the hype around that and like the unknown. Like, how are they going to use him? Are they going to be using like Debo? And they just just fucking crushed them. And
Yeah.
I was so impressed by that.
I think it was always going to be tough for McCaffrey to really get going here because
Yeah.
he had
Yeah.
one
But
practice.
the
but
emotion behind it. I'm saying like sometimes you can get
Right.
caught up in that, and they just didn't. They just shut it down.
They did.
I also think like they only ran him in the first two series of the game. Really,
Yeah.
I think they was just sort of like, here's what because I know team script like
Yeah.
for series. They were
Right.
like, here's what we're doing the first 2 series, Christian. You're in on that, and then they were just like, all right, Well, that's all you know. You were here
Yeah.
for a day.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
buddy. You got 80 yards.
The Niners will do very well with him, and there's no harm, not harm. There's no. I mean, it's a non-conference loss to what to the
Right.
one of the best teams in the league. So I don't think there's any shame in that.
Right.
Holy shit. Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry. I'm looking at I was looking for NFC versus NFC stat. Points for 176 points against 81.
Wow.
I mean, that is remarkable. So like Kansas City has scored more points, but the points they've allowed is double the Bills.
wow.
Holy shit.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. We'll see it this week.
Gotta love it. All right. Moving on to our favorite category. The Commanders.
Oh God.
Break up the Commanders.
Oh God.
Taylor Heineke. They got
I love
better.
this guy.
This guy just all he does
I
is
like
win,
him
win,
too.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
Do you remember that playoff game that he started and he was just on fucking fire? The
Yeah.
dude just played so much. I think they lost to the Bucks. I can't remember. It's like 2 years ago. And he started and he was just a ball of energy. And then people just forgot about him. I'm like, this
Yeah.
guy's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Commanders take out the Packers. That means the Packers have lost in the last 3 weeks to the Giants, the Jets, and the Commanders.
Well, I mean, the Giants and Jets.
They could be all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Packers are utter trash.
Utter shit.
They have zero capacity to score points. I mean, I watched a decent amount of this game. And you know, Aaron Rodgers, he actually looks good. Like
he does. Yeah.
He's throwing balls that, because the way the camera works, you don't always see the receiver. You're like, there is no fucking way this isn't a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look and the receiver's nowhere near him because they just don't have the speed, or they can't pay attention to know where they're supposed to be. And you know, I hate Aaron Rodgers, but I almost feel bad for him because I legitimately think he still got it.
Mm-hmm. He definitely still has
He
it.
looks
Yeah.
good. And it's just like the balls bounce off their hands, or they, you know, the receivers literally look like they cannot get to the ball.
Yeah. I also think that the Packers need to they were running the ball fine in that game and completely abandoned it. And then that just confused. Aaron Jones was busting off long runs. And then AJ Dillon, on any time it was like basically blank and 1 or blank and 2, he was pounded for those first downs. But they're throwing on 4th down. Like, what are you doing? It's 4th and 1. Give it to AJ Dillon. Like, it's dumb play calling. Just drove me insane. And I don't know. I look at Aaron Rodgers and I do think he still has it. And I think obviously he still has a lot of passion for it. But then I hear him. Did you hear what he said today?
No.
He was on McAfee's podcast and basically said that a lot of players, a lot of his teammates need to be benched because they're making so many mistakes. And he goes, if a player makes a mistake, they need to be benched. And that's the type of shit that is going to come back and bite you square in the ass. Like, saying something like that is just, we talked about it with Brady. You can't be putting down your teammates like that. You got to like help build them up. You know, you got to help, like, these are young kids. They're not grizzled veterans.
Well, Aaron's pulled this before, hasn't he? I want to say like
times.
3-4 years ago, it was like maybe a contract year or something. And it was like, we don't have the talent. If you don't put the talent around me, I'm going. I remember Kobe Bryant doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, part of me gets it. Like, if you're a competitor and you think you're the best at the game, which he is in the argument for.
Yep.
You know, like, these receivers are making him look like an idiot.
Yeah, right. But I think also, like, equally the play calling is making him look like an idiot. You know, run the ball. It's fine. It's totally fine to do that.
Most teams have given up on the running the ball nowadays. But
It's
like,
weird.
it's effective.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I sent Ryan, I think maybe I just sent it to the podcast Twitter, but that clip of them breaking down the shotgun and how much easier it is for defenders.
Right.
You know,
there's only like so many runs you can do out of shotgun.
Right. Yeah.
I think I think the NFL is going to have to start making a turn, like, back towards this sort of smash mouth football. The fucking Patriots killed it for everybody.
Yeah.
they were like 5 wide receiver sets every time. But they had Tom Brady, and the rest of the league doesn't.
Right.
And I think it's a detriment because now some of these quarterbacks are coming out of college. That was always the big knock, right? All these college quarterbacks ran everything out of the shotgun in college. And the question was, well, can they come under center? I forget. There was 1 year. I want to say it was maybe when it was like when UFC was all the rage, and it was Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart. Oh, it was Matt Leinart. That's why that's what I'm thinking of. They were like, Matt Leinart's a great quarterback, but can he figure out how to come under center? Well, maybe if Matt Leinart came around now, it would make sense. The game would make more sense to him, but he couldn't. He never learned it. Well, now it might be time to go back to that because these 4 wide receiver sets are not working for a lot of these teams.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a good point.
How about this? 2 XFL quarterbacks beat 2 NFL future Hall of Famers.
Love that.
The Panthers quarterback defeated Tom Brady, and Taylor Heineke defeated Aaron Rodgers.
Were they actually in the XFL?
Walker 100% was.
PJ Walker was. I think Heineke was too, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Just awesome.
May not have been, but
the Packers will bounce back from this. They're like I said, that division, they get the Bears twice, they get the Lions twice. I mean, they'll be okay. But
they scored 2 touchdowns and then they had a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Packers have the capability of scoring.
Yeah.
All right, back to the Bears murder the Patriots.
I did not see that coming.
And a whole lot of drama coming out of this because Mac Jones didn't play very well, and then they benched him for Bailey Zappi.
They benched him real early.
Yeah, it was like the second. He made like 4 incompletions.
Yeah,
after 2 series, I think they.
That's bad.
That's crazy.
This is a guy who, now I know this is a joke, but he made the Pro Bowl last year because like basically the 6 quarterbacks ahead of him didn't want to do it. Right. But he still led that team to a playoff berth.
He wasn't this bad.
No, but to bench a guy after that, you basically said, I have no faith in you. I have no faith in you. And you can't pretend that it's an injury because you spent the whole week leading up to it saying he's perfectly fine and he didn't take any major hits that would make you think that anything happened to him. You lost faith in him. And then you went to another guy.
Backsies on this.
Yeah.
You're done. Bailey Zappi's your boy. And then you live or die by the Zappi.
100%. I was going to bring that up. Like Zappi's got to start from here on in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You can't shake someone's confidence like this.
Yeah. Right.
My favorite thing about this, other than the Patriots losing, is Belichick's answer to the question of why, where he said, "This was always the plan."
Yeah.
What
kind of plan is that?
And then the reporter was just like, it seems like you pulled him when he was playing badly. He's like, write what you want, fucker. Suck my dick. That's what he said verbatim.
Obviously, I'm obviously lying to you. Just figure it out. Idiot.
Obviously lied to you.
Idiots. I lie to you every week. God ask me about a fucking long snapper, and I'll tell you.
20 years.
I'll tell you all about it.
What do you?
God damn you!
Look at my record without Brady.
Part of me respects that. I have mixed feelings about the obligation of players and coaches to talk to the media.
Yeah.
Especially after a loss. Like I get it. It's part of the machine. But at the same time, like what information do you think you're going to get out of a losing coach after an utter shellacking?
Right. If it was a close game, I feel like there's more merit there because you're going to be like, hey, what happened with this one? If you had done this differently like that. But when you get blown out at home, what is he going to say? Like
by the Bears.
Right. Yeah, man.
But even then, even if it is close, I'm like, why'd you go for it on 4th down?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Why'd you choose this career?
Yeah. Right.
Kind of question is that.
What do you tell your relatives you actually do?
My favorite thing is now they all say, I'm just going to look at the tape. I haven't seen it. That's what Matt Rule was saying every week when I watch his press conference. They're like, why'd you make this decision? Oh, I have to look at the tape. You were there, motherfucker. You're the head coach. Tell me you don't have a fucking answer to that? I gotta
I
look
am-
at
He
the tape.
legitimately
I
didn't
black-
know, and that was the
I
problem.
blacked
Right.
out. I blacked out when it happened.
I'm telling you though, like this Patriots team, I mean, I think we all kind of had him pegged to be at the bottom of the AFC East.
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
I mean,
I think they'd be
that's
worse than the Jets.
right. They kind of capitalize on playing. Well, I was gonna say bad teams, but the Bears aren't good, and the Bears
And
just
they
kick the shit out of them.
like even
Bears are
even,
world class terrible.
Even
Yeah.
Justin Fields still didn't look good.
no,
in
he
this
didn't.
game.
Right,
And they still beat him.
Yep.
Handily.
Yep.
All right, new category. How does this keep happening? The Giants beat the
I love it.
Jaguars.
Love it. Give me more of this right in my veins. I
Yeah.
adore this. I also adore the fact that Trevor Lawrence still can't get the shit right. Like he had so many opportunities to put that game away, to put the Giants away. And he's just like, yeah, not today.
Yeah.
Again, Doug Peterson going for fourth down
Yeah.
in stupid more than 2 fourth down and goes that made no sense. Like just don't you're the Jaguars. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You're not
There
good.
were-
You're not the Eagles that won the Super Bowl. You're the Jaguars.
There were a lot of Giants fans there too. Like it was, I thought it was a home
gonna
game.
say that. It felt
Yeah.
like a home game.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess in
That
Jacksonville.
stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's Jacksonville's kind of MO anyway.
I think they play in like London their true hometown.
their true home, London.
Yeah.
How does this keep happening? The Seahawks beat the Chargers.
The
So-
Seahawks are fucking good. And
Let me-
also the Chargers are fucking bad.
Let me preface this by saying fuck Pete Carroll.
Fuck Pete Carroll.
He's got them playing good, man. Like they are. I kind of genuinely look forward to watching them play every week.
They
Like they got this weird mystique about them that they can just
Yeah.
upend anybody, and I love that. I really think that's cool.
It's almost like this new NFL fits perfectly with what he wants to do because he can run Kenneth Walker
Yeah, can
like
he ever?
it's 1997 again,
Yes.
and it works great because the way people play defense.
Yeah, right.
It's weird.
He's got it figured out. I mean, he's got an outside chance to win that West now. I mean,
For sure.
it's impressive. It really is.
I'll say something about Justin Herbert. Actually, I have 2 things to say about this game.
Justin.
Justin Herbert, I think he's a quality quarterback. His release, the way he throws the football,
Yeah,
is going to stop him from being a Hall of Famer.
I'll have to watch that.
Mm.
What do you mean by this?
He's got that Vince Young like sort of shot put throw. It's like the way the football comes out. I saw this when I was watching the game, and then
Mhm.
one of the commentators actually mentioned it. It flies right towards lineman hands. Like
Ooh.
it does not come out at a high point. It kind of shoots out from his shoulder.
Okay.
It's going to get him in trouble for his entire career unless he figures it out.
Mm.
I bet you $1 billion that he is second only to Kyler Murray in batted balls this year.
Wow.
I don't even know how to find that stat out.
Oh,
I'd say Baker had that stat
yeah,
locked
he had-
down for like the
he
first
had it-
couple of weeks, but
he did have that on lock. He did have that on lock.
Staley is if
Yeah,
we
let's
say,
talk about this coach.
Staley might be one of the. I mean, he is going to be the reason. I think I texted you guys this. He's going to be the reason this team either is one and done in the playoffs or straight up just doesn't make it. I mean, he is clueless, absolutely clueless. And then let's talk about what he did at the end during this blowout of a game. Left
Yeah.
his starters in there to get fucking pummeled. I mean, and not only that, they did get injuries, right? Ryan, didn't you? I think you texted that
Mike
to us.
Williams
Yeah,
was injured late in the game.
idiot.
I think it's a sprained ankle, but
That sucks because that's up front 3 to 4 weeks, and then God knows those don't get better. You know,
they do
you
have a
to
bye
rest.
week, but
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
there was their high quality corner also was knocked out.
JC Jackson, he's out for the
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
although he's very overrated.
That was earlier in the game, but
Man,
to lose some of these guys late in the game when you're getting blown out, how are you getting blown out by the Seahawks? Good
Yeah.
grief.
how
They could not stop the run at all.
lucky are the Chiefs to play in a division with 3 idiots like
We thought-
coaches who
yeah.
just have no idea what they're doing, who are vastly underqualified to be coaches.
We thought this division was going to
I
be
know.
good. Oh, all
Right
4
there.
teams might make
Yeah.
the playoffs. No.
No.
I don't think any of them are making it.
Our defense, it made sense at the time.
Yeah, right.
Everybody thought it. Yeah. All right.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be the Chiefs and then 3 teams out of the AFC East are gonna make this.
good grief. All right, one more. How does this keep happening? The Jets beat the Broncos.
Love it, man.
Well, Broncos are shit.
Yeah, Hackett's
The
an
Jets
idiot.
Can't hack it. He's at it again.
Jets are in trouble though. Brees Hall's
Brees
out for
Hall.
the season,
Yeah.
and yeah, they have quality backups, but not great backups. Whereas
Yeah.
Brees Hall is real fucking good.
Yep. And they traded for Robinson last night.
They just
James
traded
Robinson.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good
right.
player.
He's good, but obviously he also has an injury issue, and he
Mhm.
is a little bit more of like a goal line bruiser and less of a like Brees Hall, like Greg's point, could catch. He could dance in the backfield. He gets cut. You're not going to get that from James Robinson. He's more of a bash it right in your face, which
Yeah.
is fine, but it's a different style. I think more importantly, they lost another tackle. Like the one good one they had left is out for the year now. I mean,
Jesus.
you're that O-line is, you might be lucked out for a couple of weeks, but eventually that's going to fall apart.
Zach Wilson did not look good in this game at all.
Mm-mm.
No.
He looked bad.
And you're eventually going to play a team that stops the run, and then what?
Yeah, right.
And then what? I mean, you got to have Zach Wilson beat you.
I like how the Broncos had all this drama with Melvin Gordon,
Yeah.
and then didn't play him again.
Yeah, right.
They basically said like, "Oh yeah, no, that's all fake media, blah blah blah." Oh, you're not playing.
But guys, let's
It's
ride.
fine.
Let's ride.
That's right.
That's
I saw that on the jumbotron during that game, and I almost
That's
fell out
right.
of my seat laughing.
They need to end that.
Like that motherfucker's not even in this game.
I
know,
right?
Right. I like every meme that for Let's Ride of like cars crashing and like people on boats falling overboard. Like
So embarrassing. It's
great.
just that whole team is just a mess. Would they at this point? The trade deadline's a week. If you're the Broncos, do you sell?
They want to sell Jerry Jeudy.
I
already
think you
wanna
have
get rid of
to.
him. Yeah.
I don't think this year is gonna be it. So
Yikes. All right. This category is also new. Phew. The Ravens beat the Browns, but almost didn't.
both teams did not want to win this game.
Nope. Not a lot to say here.
No, the Ravens had every opportunity to put them away. They chose not to.
They continue
And
to
then
do Raven things.
Right. And then the Browns had every opportunity to put the Ravens away, and they chose not to. So it was
Another example of like, just run the ball, Browns.
yeah.
Why are you not running it all the time?
You have Nick Chubb, and then when he gets tired, you have Kareem Hunt. Like, what's wrong with
Why?
you?
Why are you not doing that all the time? What are you doing?
I heard Hunt might get traded. That's interesting.
Well, he wanted out, right?
Yeah, right.
So
He
maybe
could be a good number one somewhere.
Yeah.
Sure.
In Kareem Hunt's quality running back, and in his defense, the Browns, what was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever they had Odell Beckham, and when Kareem Hunt signed, the Browns looked like they were putting effort into this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they traded for Deshaun Watson, and then they decided they would rather be shit.
Yep.
He's going to come into a little bit of a tough situation, I think, here. Also, our boy, the Dolphins, they beat the Steelers, and Tua survived the game, which is more of the few.
Despite
for
him
me.
really
Not
trying
of
to
his
get another
own
concussion.
Devices, yeah.
Right.
God.
I mean, I guess it's good that he didn't get concussed by doing some of that shit. So, because like my worry was every time I watch a Dolphins game, I'm going to assume he's going to die. So I'm glad that like at least he held up during the game.
Right. I'm just glad he survived.
Right. I think our boy needs some work.
Yeah.
Our boy.
He looked like an all-star. Now he looks like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, he needs a little work. They won, and that's the important thing. But man,
Yeah,
that
but they
last
barely
quarter,
beat the Steelers.
I know. At home, that last quarter made me angry because how many times did the Dolphins get the ball back with like less than 6 minutes? They had the ball like 4 separate times under 6 minutes, it felt, and they kept punting it. They just kept punting it right back. It was so aggravating.
Here's a little tidbit that just came out today. The benching of Mitch Trubisky. Did you hear this?
No, well, we're gonna do a fight with somebody.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin didn't want to bench Mitch.
Right.
He got in a fist fight with Deontay Johnson in the locker room. That's why he got benched. What are you doing, Mitch?
Megastar Mitch?
Megastar?
Megastar Mitch?
MVP Mitch?
Money Mitch? What are you doing?
Mitch gotta come home next year.
Male
baby.
model of the year, Mitch.
Yeah. All right.
Baby hands looked okay though.
He was fine. I mean, honest, and to his credit, though, I think that should be a sign.
He
you
had
know,
3
obviously
interceptions. Never
he
mind.
threw
I'm
some
so
interceptions
sorry.
at the end, but here's the thing: he did move the ball. You know, effectively against the Dolphins defense, which is good. So in early in his career, I think that is a sign. You got to look for like little shining moments there, and I think he did show something. So that's something to hang your head on.
All right.
I love how
on.
unbelievably gaudy Miami Stadium is.
Yeah.
Like
So ugly.
who I feel like the rich white people in Miami who own the Marlins and the Dolphins, they're like, we got some Cuban flavor in this town. Let's make everything as awful as possible. What do Cubans love? Giant gaudy pillars on the top of our weird fucking stadium.
Yeah, right.
A giant dancing marlin over a sun in center field. This will really
your
attract the masses.
What about your Titans, the new Titan Stadium?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Oh, did they just release a new stadium?
Yeah,
they have new
not that
renderings.
old. Their stadium's totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you something else. I'm gonna talking about stadiums that really like rub me the wrong way. They keep putting these luxury boxes basically on the field, but they're so fucking expensive that they're always empty.
Right.
And it is either like hoity-toity motherfuckers sipping wine on the sidelines, or $3,000 seats sitting empty because no one's going to pay $3,000 to see a Miami Dolphins game.
Yeah, right.
Like, I get it. I know why they're redoing all these stadiums so they can put more luxury boxes and suites and all that shit in it. But if nobody can afford your game, it makes you look like assholes.
And the funny thing about Dolphins is every time I see a game with them, it's like half the other team. Like it's just like and now granted the Steelers travel well, but there's a lot of fucking terrible towels in that stadium. That's got to be a little embarrassing,
especially if it's a Northeast team. You know, like that's why there were so many Giants fans at that Jacksonville thing.
Yeah,
because everybody from the Northeast winds up in Florida.
Right.
So like, don't give them an excuse. You know, when I lived in Baltimore, they used to call it Fenway South because, you know, when the Red Sox came to town, first off, the tickets tripled in price.
Smart.
And second, it was 75-80% Red Sox fans because it was cheaper. I'm not even kidding. Like for most of the Northeast, it is cheaper to drive to the O's Stadium to see the Red Sox than it is to drive to Fenway.
Yeah. When say the Diamondbacks played the O's, how much could you get in for?
$5.
Ooh.
And
wow,
you got a sandwich with it.
Ooh, nice.
That is absolutely true.
Was it specifically for the Diamondbacks or just shitty teams?
It was most teams.
Okay. You got a sandwich?
Like every matinee, you know? But like it was great for me. I very specifically, like it was a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Roy Halladay's pitching today. Literally walked down to the stadium, paid my $5, and got to see Roy Halladay. I was literally the only person in the stadium. That's an exaggeration, but I'm not. If honestly, I would say there was probably less than 1,000 people in that stadium that day.
I would hope that whoever filmed that game, there's like a close up of you eating a hoagie or something, like with nobody around you in this.
Boog's Pit Beef.
Oh my God. All right, we're moving on to our segments of the week. We're going to start with broadcasting moments of the week, my segment, which has a theme. It's Zappy, Bailey Zappy. During the game, Troy Aikman added again. Troy Aikman sucked for like 12 years on Fox, but all of a sudden on ESPN, he's just great. And he said, Zappy Magic.
God, that's not even clever.
Zappy Magic. And then that leads me into Zappy on the bench. They show a little clip of that. Did you see this? Of Zappy on the bench?
Singing?
Oh, were you singing?
Him?
Looks like he's muttering to himself, but
he's
actually singing Stacy's Mom Has Got It Going On.
Right. And who did that song? What was the name of the band?
Fountains of Wayne, right?
Fountains of Wayne.
It was a Bowling for Soup. I never know.
No, it's not Bowling for
Soup.
Soup.
I think it's Fountains of Wayne.
It's Fountains of Wayne.
And they tweeted because about that and they go, "Oh God," when he started doing that.
Even they regret it.
Oh. Yeah.
We never should have written that song.
That's great.
I wish I was Wheatus.
Wheatus.
I wish we were Bowling for Soup.
Oh, they would. Yeah, it's all in the metaverse. All right, Greg, it's time for Greg's bets.
Greg's bets. I went 5 for 5 last week.
Wow. Damn, girl.
Yeah. which makes me 9 for 10 over the last 2 weeks.
That's impressive.
Wow.
I will, however, say I did make not an ambient bet.
Oh,
I made a muscle relaxer bet.
Oh
okay,
boy,
got it.
even better.
I
When
like your tiered
Yeah.
bets that you make
Tiered bets.
depending on what influence you're under.
When I found out, I'm so fucking stupid. When I found out that Carson Wentz was out, I was like, oh, the Packers. Give me all the points. The Packers. This is it.
Jesus Christ.
So here's how it goes. Alcohol.
Yep.
I bet on the Steelers. Big mistake.
Mm,
Ambien.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who I bet on, but it was good.
Okay.
okay.
I
All
made
right. It
money.
worked out. It worked out.
Muscle relaxers.
Ooh, even better.
Bad again.
Oh, bad again. Oh,
Bad
shit.
again. This week I'm in Vegas.
Ooh.
We don't know.
It could
We don't
be
know what
God-
my
Mm.
impromptu Saturday nights I'm on something bet's gonna be.
Anything's
So,
possible.
I'm gonna
Oh.
guess you go
I
out to
could
the
be
desert.
doing whippets and
Yeah.
betting on the Jaguars.
You go in the desert. Get
Oh,
yourself
I
some
did bet on the
Jenkum.
Jaguars.
You get Jenkum bets going.
Yeah, that's right. Get my
Oh,
Jenkin
wait,
bets
I
in.
did bet on the. You're not on Ambien right now. Huh? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I've had a good run this week. I guarantee it's going to end because this is a tough week because there's
is.
no good games. Like there are games to just pick. If I'm doing pick'ems, not a problem. But the
Mm.
spreads are nasty this
Mhm.
week.
Mm,
So I go into this saying I don't have a lot of confidence. But here we
Okay.
go. I'm taking Cincinnati -3.5. They're at Cleveland.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cleveland's fucked me all year. No matter what way I'm going, Cleveland
Yep.
has fucked me. But Cincinnati has looked awesome.
Yep.
Cleveland
Right.
has looked dog shit.
Division game too.
Division game. I'm
Yeah,
taking the
usually
-3.5.
lay it on them if they can.
Seemed
Yep.
okay. Next, I'm taking Jacksonville -2.5 over
Okay.
Denver
Ooh.
because I think Denver is remarkably shit.
Okay.
Also, another team that just cannot score points. Jacksonville is somewhat competent.
Mm,
Maybe this London game is going to do well for them.
Oh, that's right. It's in
Mm.
London. Okay. All right. Yeah. They
I
do
don't
play
like
well.
it, but I like this better than the other ones.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm sorry I took Buffalo +11.
Mhm.
mm.
Green Bay incompetent,
Nah.
literally incompetent. 81 points, Mark.
I know.
The Bills have allowed 81 points.
But Aaron
Coming
Rodgers
off a
has
bye.
he has juju magic sometimes. It is
Yeah.
that he just drop you
No.
on you on prime time. So
He's not. I'm. This is going to be a blowout.
yeah.
Green Bay, 3 points.
Wow.
That's my. If I could bet that, I would.
Wow.
I almost took the under, thinking that Green Bay can't score points, but I would not be surprised if Buffalo puts up 60 on them.
I think this is going to be a lot closer game than people think it's going to be. But
I could be wrong.
Okay.
I don't
Alright.
like 11 points, but again,
yeah, I
it's
really
a-
don't like
it's
11
a
points.
fucked up week. At least
Mhm.
the Bills are a football team.
That's true.
All right. Sure.
I took Seattle -3 over the New York Giants. This is a tough one,
That is
but they're in
tough.
Seattle.
Yeah. You know what?
and Seattle's look good, and the Giants are still very one-dimensional.
Yeah. I have a huge thing when it comes to predicting games. If you have an East Coast team who has to travel to the West Coast, I almost always take that West Coast team because
Yeah.
that time that adjustment you have to make really does fuck with you. We've all done it. We've all gone to
Right.
the West Coast and I don't feel right for a couple of days and I'm not playing a football game.
I'm doing it tomorrow, and I'm
Yeah.
literally
Right.
right.
Oh, yeah,
now,
yeah,
I am
yeah,
intending
right.
to stay up tonight,
Yep.
so that I'm not totally fucked when I get there tomorrow.
right.
Mm, Okay.
Last one. This is another one I feel terrible about,
mm.
but I took Philadelphia +10.5
Ooh.
against Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Oh no, I kind of
They're in Philly.
I'm with you on that
I
one.
hate Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's awful. I mean, the Philadelphia is going to cream Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
but they might let off the gas in the third quarter
Mm.
when they're up 22, and it's just like, all right, that's enough.
You've had
totally
enough.
ruin
Right. I
baby
mean, it's
hands.
in Philly. It's like
Yeah.
Ivan Drago fucking beating the piss out of Apollo.
Oh God.
Honestly, though, Philly fans are going to be fucking crazy anyway because of the World Series. So yeah, no, that's
Mm,
that's a good one.
true.
Yeah. So again, this is a real rough week, but it was time I lost some. So I'm up $30 for the year so far.
Nice.
That's
there you
pretty
go.
good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I like
Good.
your 9 out of 10. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
The only one I lost was, of course, Cleveland because they keep fucking me.
There's actually almost a clean sweep on primetime games not being shit. Buccaneers, Ravens.
Yep.
Fine.
Oh, that'll be shit.
It things will happen. Lamar's on it. Brady will do stuff. I mean, it'll be interesting. And Bills and Packers, we talked about that. But unfortunately, Bengals and Browns on Monday
So,
Night Football. Ugh.
That'll be
the thing.
fun in one direction.
I like that because it's on Halloween. They picked the orange and black team to play on Halloween, which I really dig. Actually, the other team is kind of Halloween-ish.
Yeah, no,
you
the
know?
Halloween
Browns
teams?
are
Scary.
orange. I think
Right.
Scary. All right.
candy
Time-
corn,
Yeah.
Candy corn.
right? White,
Have
orange,
they lost
and
every
brown?
game
Yep.
since they had the fucking elf debut? The Browns.
The cursed elf. I think.
Yeah.
What are they? 2-5?
Yeah, they're 2-5. I think they might have lost every single game since that stupid elf showed up.
We never should have
Oh.
trusted you, Brownie.
The elf.
Now you're stuck. Fuck.
The elf. All right. Time for football foobar.
Football foobar. All right. So, gentlemen, this is entrant number 7 into football foobar here. And last week, we talked about Ryan Leaf. Okay. And I felt like we did a really good job at ending that on a high note where we had Ryan Leaf come back and basically, he's still making mistakes. It happens, but he's doing his best to kind of teach other people not to follow down the same path he did. He's got a successful career going. He kind of rejuvenated his life after football, right? And a lot of that was because he admitted his own mistakes. But let's do a case study here. What if you have a quarterback who didn't admit his own mistakes and still to this day insists that it was everybody else's fault but his own? So today, get your purple drink ready. We're going into Jamarcus Russell. Okay.
Hooray.
Jamarcus Russell grew up in Mobile, Alabama, and he was always substantially bigger than everybody else around him. He talks about this ad nauseum. When he was in middle school, when he was in high school, he was so much bigger, so much stronger, had a rocket for an arm. And I almost always wondered when I was kind of researching this, I wondered, like, is that what led to problems later? Like when he's so physically talented, he didn't have to put the work in. Like, could that lead to something later because he was so much better than everybody else just physically? Went to high school, obviously played quarterback. His 10,774 career passing yards in high school is the Alabama high school record to this day. So absolutely insane. Drew huge attention. Florida State, Alabama were all vying for him to go to college, and he picked LSU, which is fine. LSU at that time was quite the power. So here he goes, going to LSU, and truth be told, he's pretty meh. He wasn't great. Honestly, his first 2 years, he was redshirted his freshman year, came in as a sophomore, was fine. Junior was fine. Or excuse me, his sophomore was all right. Freshman was all right. Sophomore was all right. Junior year, he really lights it up, right? He has good talent around him. LSU is really competing for a national title. Okay. He has like 28 touchdowns in 13 games, 320 or 3,200 yards. Very good. Very good. But what scouts are drooling over is the fact that he is 6'6" and 260 pounds and can throw it fucking 80 yards in the air. Amazing. You just don't get that type of physical talent. Okay. So everyone's projecting to go number 1 overall. Much like Ryan Leaf, though, during his pre-draft prospect, he was getting some rave reviews on his physical talent, but his mental game was not up to snuff. And I quote, Cleveland Browns general manager Phil Savage said of Russell's abilities, his talent is substantial. He's a rare combination of size and arm strength. While Detroit's general manager, Matt Millen, said that he warned Raiders owner Al Davis not to draft Russell after Millen kicked Russell out of a pre-draft interview for being overly distracted. According to Millen, Russell was a, quote, stiff who couldn't pay attention for more than 5 minutes. I like that he compares him to like a hamster. Like, I think that's very funny to me. But babies, this is Al Davis.
Oh boy.
You don't care about the mental aspect. This is a 6'6", 260-pound quarterback. Takes him number 1 overall. Now, I think I've told this before. I was at this draft. This is the draft I physically went to.
Wow.
In Radio City Music Hall. Raiders fans were all about it. I always remember this draft because this is the draft that the Dolphins took Ted Ginn Jr. over Brady Quinn. And the fans hated it. But in retrospect,
it worked out.
That was probably the right call. So
it was slightly less worse.
Ted Ginn lasted for like 15 years. He hung around forever. So here's the thing. So Jamarcus Russell, was drafted number 1 overall. And in retrospect, we all know what happened, but he was drafted over future Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. and future NFL Hall of Famers Joe Thomas, Adrian Peterson, Patrick Willis, Marshawn Lynch, Darrell Revis, and Joe Staley, all in the first round, went after Jamarcus Russell.
Ouch.
That is literally 8 Hall of Famers who were drafted in that first round. That's amazing. That really is.
Ouch.
So Jamarcus gets to Oakland. He's ready to prove himself, right? He's ready to go. He's ready to do this. All right, ready? And he holds out for more money. Immediately holds out. And he is the reason the rookie pay scale came into effect, because he held out until week 1, the middle of week 1, and then he decides to sign with him. And the Raiders obviously say, like, well, we can't fucking play this guy. He has no training camp experience, right? So they don't even play him till December. And by that point, he gets injured like 2 games in. Not a great start to his career. His second year, though, shows improvement. Plays almost all the games. Touchdowns are up. Completions are up. Yardage are up, right?
Okay. Good.
Much like Ryan Leaf, it's that third year that's always the trickiest, okay? Shows up in 2009, weighing 290 pounds, okay? He is 30 pounds overweight. Reports from his teammates later come out that they had to bribe Jamarcus in order to study film. And now how do they bribe him? Do they bribe him with money? Or do they bribe him with junior bacon cheeseburgers from Wendy's?
No.
So, Jamarcus would only study film is if his teammates brought him over 10 of those burgers and then brought the DVDs to his house. He would not he couldn't be bothered going to the facilities. They had to bring the food and the movies to him. And his own coaches caught on to this. And they said, Jamarcus, here's a CD. This is going to be the game plan for this upcoming week. Let us know what you think about it. The CD was blank. They asked Jamarcus the next day, what'd you think of the game plan? And he said, looks great, coach.
I like that story from both sides. I like the ruse and I like the no sell.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was perfect. We'll totally do that.
Yeah, throw the ball. Got it.
Just eating a burger. So in 2009, the Raiders
ruse all over the DVDs. Here's your CD back.
Oh God.
So halfway through the season, he's obviously horrible because he's out of shape and doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't know the game plans. They trade for Jason Campbell. Remember him? Played for the Redskins for a while.
Yeah.
And kind of did okay with the Raiders. And so at this point, the Raiders are like, well, fuck this. We can't. This guy, we got to get rid of him. They actually filed a grievance with the NFLPA to get their money back on his rookie deal because they said he didn't complete his end of the bargain. He's supposed to, much like when news came out with Kyler Murray, he needs to study, he needed to do all this. And they said, because he didn't do it, we should get our money back. And I never got how that all ended. I'm guessing they didn't get their money back, but Marcus gets released. He is a 24-year-old former number 1 overall pick. And I want you to pause here because remember, Josh Rosen has been with 7 teams and he was he was a first rounder as well. Jamarcus never played again, never got any opportunity to play for any other team. He was that bad and his reputation was that bad.
Wow.
He did attempt to come back for the Dolphins, but he showed up weighing 302 pounds. So even more, even heavier, was not signed. And then he was arrested for having not a prescription for codeine, which he was making into Purple Drank, which is what I think people seem to remember him most for.
Purple Drank.
Purple Drank. Yep.
Right?
Scissor. Yep.
It's what Lil Wayne loved so much he refused to give up even after his body was shutting down.
And he says, Jamarcus goes on record saying like he's been drinking this since middle school, so he's fine. Like it doesn't affect him, which is that statement alone is terrifying.
Okay.
I don't need it. I just love having it every day, no matter what. And if I don't have it, I feel bad. Okay. I don't need it. I just love it.
You got a burger? I'll study that playbook again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Here's the kicker.
Walks into Wendy's. Any of y'all got any playbooks?
Brady Quinn behind the counters, like, no.
Oh, Brady.
I'm sure Brady Quinn is working at his dad's car dealership.
Oh, yeah. Right.
No, he's actually a announcer. He's
I was about to say he's got to be like a Notre Dame announcer.
Yeah, no, he's on Fox NFL. He's one of the one of the guys. He's like
he is very white. I'm sure there's plenty of opportunities.
He's right above Tiki Barber, I believe.
Oh, it's not hard.
Right above Tiki Barber.
Yeah, who's like the bottom of the barrel guy. Like the worst guy on Fox. Tiki
I
Barber.
like Tiki.
He's like the understudy.
He's a terrible announcer. He's better than Rondé, but he's still bad.
Rondé
was the worst color man ever.
I like how Tiki had that famous line where he said that the Giants will never win another Super Bowl without him, and then the following year they won a Super Bowl without him.
Yeah, right.
That was great. So here's the thing with Jamarcus. Let's put a bow.
Yeah,
on
let's put a
here.
cap on this. I
Here's
don't
the
think
thing with
this
Jamarcus.
this is not a happy ending.
This is not a happy ending, and that's
Okay,
that. But
all
here's
right.
the thing: it's not a happy ending because something sad happened, or obviously he had ran into some trouble, but he got out of this. So this year, June 2022, he wrote an article for the Players Tribune. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it basically
right.
allows NFL players to write articles or essays about their lives or their experience. Jamarcus I think it was ghostwritten, but he wrote a very long article about his life. The name of it is "Y'all Don't Know a Damn Thing About Jamarcus Russell." Okay,
That's a great start.
fucking trip. This man takes no accountability for anything that has ever happened to him. He basically blames the owners. He blames his teammates. He blames coaches. He blames the fans. He blames the media. Everybody's out to stop Jamarcus Russell from lighting up the NFL. And they were the ones who kept him out, as opposed to just his horribly shitty behavior. And there's still time. You hope that eventually, as he grows older, he realizes that a lot of this is self-inflicted. But until then, my God, it just blows my mind. When I read that article, I remember thinking to myself, this is going to be good. I want to hear Jamarcus explain some of this. And all of it was just yeah, I did this and they didn't think it was funny. Or yeah, I did this, but I don't need to study. Clearly you do. And it was just, I've never seen that type of ignorance about your own shortcomings in my life to anybody. So if you ever get a chance, it is available. Read it. It'll blow your mind. Just real crazy.
Wow.
But here's the thing. So it's a sad story to the end, but hopefully, like I said, later in life, he kind of pulls it all together, and shows how not to behave, when you get drafted, because of that. So, because let's face it, if Ted Ginn is outperforming you in the long run, you didn't make the greatest choices. So
his contract for those keeping score was 6 years, $61 million.
my God.
He's the reason there's a rookie cap.
Yeah,
now, right?
right. Exactly.
Yep.
He
That
is
means that he was done being paid in 2013, but he was done playing well before that.
Yep. 2009.
All right, time for game balls. We'll get out of here. You got a game ball for me, Greg?
Oh, you know what? I had an awesome one, and now I can't remember it for shit.
I'll give my game ball to Brian Burns and the Panthers defense for taking out the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
They're real simple.
That's the good stuff.
Get him out.
That's the good stuff. Mike Evans game ball.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
The drop.
Give me that drop.
The bobble drop.
I mean, again, I watched a decent amount of that game. Mike Evans dropped probably 4 passes in that game.
Yeah.
Just wide open, fuck you passes. And he's like, nah.
He is a dropper.
Swat him to the ground.
No.
No, I'm not doing a Crypt Keeper.
Turned into every defensive back.
Dikembe. He Dikembe'd every ball.
Oh.
No.
All right, Mark.
I'm gonna go with the refs who saved Andy Reid from making an ass out of himself.
The refs calling
They're like,
timeout for
Andy,
him.
You're a good dude, man.
You got
That's a mulligan on you.
You want this
We'll
timeout.
just
You really should have
take
it.
care of you this time.
Oh boy. All right.
Thanks for all the charity work, big guy.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
All right, real quick plugs. We have a new episode of our other podcast,
Yeah.
the TJF podcast.
That's
Going to be coming out on Halloween itself.
Forgot we recorded that.
Halloween. We
Yeah.
recorded Halloween episodes. It's in the books. It's been a busy month for TJF podcast. We don't usually
Yeah.
work this quickly.
That's
But-
true.
We pounded it out though. I was
Yeah.
excited to get that one. That was good.
It's a great episode.
is
and
very
I'm
funny.
very excited to see that one come out. So check that out on Monday, October 31st. We'll be back next week with no Greg. You're on a bye week.
Rip.
Yeah, sorry.
So we gotta find a guest host, or
Hmm.
maybe we won't. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We have
got
some. We have potential.
we got some tricks up our sleeves, maybe.
Right.
So that's it. We're looking forward to what is it, week 8?
Yeah. Week 8.
Okay, good
week
luck.
8. This season is flying by.
I'll text you how I did on my bets.
Definitely.
If someone wants to
Yeah,
just
we can do a
convey
quick
them.
update.
And then we'll have guest host Jamarcus Russell read them out loud.
Oh, guest host Brian
Yeah.
McKinney.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
put a
tell us.
$5 on 6-piece.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a $5 on the sweet tea.
Oh, I love it. have many purple drinks in
Yep.
Vegas. Enjoy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll put a couple thousand on that.
Oh,
Hang out
yeah.
with, tell Josh McDaniels to continue to run the ball. Maybe that'll help.
They're not in town. I looked.
Oh, shit.
Damn. You can't go to
Yeah.
that weird, awkward looking stadium. Boo. All right, we're done. Potted long. We're out of here. We'll see you in week 8. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.